Alrighty. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are designing my dream F1 calendar. So I want to give a shout out to the Crash Happy podcast because that's the latest episode and I was really intrigued. So I thought I'm going to do my own because it was really fun. So let's get straight into this. So the first track that we have is Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. Now, the reason I chose Albert Park is because other than COVID, it's been hosting round 1 of the F1 year for most years now. And I must say, every year it's a really good race. And there's never a clear winner till it's like 5 laps left. So that's why I think Albert Park should be the first one. Now, the second race, it's moved a bit different. So next I've chose Bahrain. Now the reason I've chose Bahrain is that during the COVID years it's been set as round 1, but I've got it set as round 2. It's usually set as round 4, right? But I think, again, it's a really good race for the opener. Now some people would say that Bahrain is better as a season opener, but because we do testing at Bahrain, I think it's better to have a break from Bahrain and go to Melbourne and then go to Bahrain, so cars are set up different and then they get back into the groove. Now, round 3 is actually a track that we haven't seen on the F1 calendar for such a long time, and this is Brands Hatch. Now, I don't know much about this track, but from track layout and some highlights I've seen, it seems like a really nice flowing track, and I've driven it in Assetto Corsa, and I must say, it's a really good ride. So that's why I have it as round 3. Now, round 4, I have Canada, Montreal. I really like this track, me personally. It's always a good race, like 2023 and 2011. Those were banger races. And I think having that as one of the season openers for round 4 would be a really good choice. Now, for round 5, I have Imola. So, Imola won't be raced on in F1 anymore, which I think is really dumb from F1's point, because Imola is always a good track. There's plenty of overtaking zones, a long straight, and many good spots to overtake. So I hope Imola comes back in the future. I really do, because it's one of my top favorites. So that's why I have it ranked round 5. Round 6, I have China. Now China is a really good track and it's normally very early on in the season. I think we definitely need China on this dream calendar because of how many overtaking zones there are, the long back straight, and the pit stops. The pit stops are really crucial in that race, or else you really lose time. And I'm not trying to be biased, but Ricciardo also won in that race. Now round 7, we haven't raced at this track for a long time, but it's Fuji. I looked at the track layout and some clips of the drivers going around there, and it looks like a really nice flowing track. And Fuji is where Suzuka would be where Suzuka would be on the calendar. So that's round 7 for me. Now, round 8. I've chose Spain, not the New Madrid or Valencia. I've chosen Barcelona. Now, Barcelona is the best Spain track in my opinion. It's a permanent track, has a long straight, long second last corner, and then a slingshot into the long straight. And it's a very historic track. Name one time it wasn't a good race, because every race that I've watched of that, it's been an absolute banger. Round 9, I have Austin, Texas. Now, this track is amazing. I can't stress enough how much every year is such a good race. The long straight with the huge 53-meter banking and the switchbacks of turn 1 with how wide it is crazy. And there's always a crash at turn 1. Just ask Norris and Piastri.
Piastri's going to be hit by Hulkenberg and the McLaren's made contact!
Okay, so the next track I have on our list, which is round 10, is Singapore. Now, some people may attack me in the comments saying, oh, Singapore is such a boring race. But let me tell you this one thing. Would you rather Singapore or Monaco? I would happily take Singapore every day of the week. There's more overtaking spots, it's a good race, and a strategic race. And that's why I chose Barcelona for my round 10. So this is Editor Me, and I don't know why I said Barcelona for round 10. I was meant to say Singapore without a doubt. For round 11, I've chose Silverstone. Do I even have to say anything about Silverstone? It's a good race every year, iconic. Name one thing that's bad about Silverstone. It's such a good race, always a controversy.
Inside a continent touch! Verstappen is out of the race!
And big crashes. Alright, round 12 is Monza. Practically just copy and paste everything I said about Silverstone. Great race, iconic, big crashes. Except Monza has the massive straight. And oh my, turn 1 is an absolute mess.
Absolutely nowhere comes a car.
If one person outbrakes themselves, you are playing 20 pin bowling. Round 13, I have a pretty different one. I've chosen the Hockenheimring. Now we haven't raced there for so long, but now that it's being used again, I think personally it's a very good track to go with. It's quick, but also very good for overtaking. Me personally, I don't know much about the tracks, and that was a bit dry, but it's a very good track. Round 14, I have Spa. Now, I don't know why F1 chose to go, we are racing at this venue every second year, because that's stupidity, if I've ever seen it. Because Spa is such a good race, Upper Rouge, massive historic race, the bus stop chicane, everything is good about this track. It is probably my second or third favorite track all time. Round 15, I have the Red Bull Ring. I've chose the Red Bull Ring for round 15 because it's such a enjoyable track. The track is very long, the massive uphill into turn 3 or 4, and then a sharp 90-degree turn. And no matter what, you will see either a crash or a really good overtake going through that corner. And if not, you'll get a 10 out of 10 basic switchback. Absolute perfection. This track has all its windiness, straight, and curves. It's a really good track. Okay, for round 16, I have Hungary. Now, Hungary may not be the greatest track. They literally call it Monaco without the walls. But I think Hungary is a good track. There's many overtaking zones, you can get past people, and it flows quite nicely. And I've driven Hungary thousands of times, and I can guarantee you, you can definitely overtake. Now, round 17, I have South Korea. Now, that track, it looks beautiful. I can't say I've driven it, and I can't say I know the track layout off by heart, but I can tell you, it's a good track. Round 18, I have Russia. Now this may be a bit controversial, but it's a really good track. I've driven it quite a few times and it's quite good. It's a very enjoyable track, so that's why it should be on the calendar. Round 19, I had the Nürburgring. Not the endurance one, not the one that takes like 8 minutes to complete one lap, but the one that the GT drivers use, the GT layer. Now that layer is mwah. I've driven it with an F1 car and it's very good. It flows nice, it's not too difficult, and it's safe. And that's why I have it at round 19. For round 20, I have the Netherlands. You can't not have this track in your dream calendar. I know they're getting rid of it again, but I don't know why they do that. It's a really good track. It flows nicely, and that banking, whew, it's a difficult one. It's always a good race, and there's always a few good crashes. For round 21, I have Indianapolis. Now, not the long oval where you just turn left, turn left, turn left, but the road course. Now, the road course is really good. F1 has driven there in the 2000s, and from what I've seen, it's a pretty darn good race. It's simple and it flows. Now for round 22, this is insanely different. I've chosen Le Mans, but not the Le Mans we all know, but the F1 circuit. They haven't raced this since around like 1960 or something. This is such an old track, but I think it should be back on the calendar. With this photo right here, you can tell that it's a very good and flowing track. Now, round 23, I have Qatar. Now, this may be controversial, but I really like this track, and it's very good. I don't know why some people don't like it. Maybe because of the intense heat and how much drivers sweat. I mean, freaking Logan Sargent, the American who survived freaking 45-degree weather, threw up in his helmet. But I really like the track to drive, and it's very flowing and very nice. Now for the final race, the season finale. It's not Abu Dhabi, but Brazil. Brazil is the perfect season ender. It's such a good track, it's very historic, and that's where we used to finish the seasons. Alright guys, hope you enjoy my video. Be sure to leave a comment and I'll happily discuss it with you. So if you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I shall see you next time.